Good morning. I'm Victoria Savage, Nurse Savage, on your side, your wisdom guided oracle, and welcome. Uh, Hope you're doing well. We've had some interesting things going on in the collective recently. A lot of old stuff coming up, which needs to come up. But this morning, listening to different things, different people, astrologies, um, lots of the things that I listen to kind of all got the same message going. And then I asked what deck needed to come up, and it was the Kali Oracle Guidebook. And then the Kali goddess that came up is Chinnamasta, kind of a scary looking, kind of gruesome, but it really very much ties into everything else really that I've been receiving for a while, and certainly what the messages were this morning, which is very much it's time to end the old and bring in the new. The cutting off of the head, that mind aspect will cause us slow down a lot. We want to go inward to our energy, our emotions. There are molecules of emotion that go into our hormonal systems and start really playing with the physical aspect, our emotional mind, where we believe a bunch of the crap, of course, that we were raised with, and belief systems, and certainly what we brought in to release for our ancestral energies. Very much a message today about sovereignty, about responsibility, and about selfishness. I've said it before, I say it quite often, but that was truly the theme of this morning's reading is selfishness. It's all about you. And Chinnamasta talks about reclaiming the sovereignty. Um, when the soul needs to separate itself from that on which it once relied, which is our mind, our understanding, our quote unquote logic. Now, I'm a common sense gal. That's one of the things that I've gotten real in spades in this lifetime. Plus, that understanding that I have of who I am and how I walk in this world. Now, do I understand all of that at this point? No, but I do know that I am one that reads energy and knows BS. And we all have that ability to tap into our inner spidey senses more. And man, do we need to now. We've got so much false crap coming to us. A lot of these animal pictures that are being shown, good morning, Laurel, that are just total impossibilities for happening, which are benign. But that leads us into, oh, yeah, that's true that this polar bear totally placid there with this man next to him. Just unbelievable stuff. And literally the other morning it was, if it seems too good to be true, it is too good to be true. You want to use that as your guidance compass as you navigate all this junk on the internet. So many lies, so many things that are not true, and your gut will tell you that. And so Chinnamasta is all about separating that which guided us before, for most of us, our heads, our intellect, and getting into the heart. So, when the soul needs to separate itself from that which it once relied on, be it a view of ourselves or the world or a group or belief system that cannot support the truths of the heart, she is the capacity, sovereignty, and courage required for self-liberation. You don't need anyone else to heal you from this. Because they can't. You must do your inner work. You must choose to be guided. I'm open, I'm willing, I'm ready. Guide me. And that is a very direct invitation, not just to anything out there. That's to your guides, your spirit, your angels that will help you in this walk. The next card that came up was Seek Your Destiny. Look at that beautiful little creature. Seek your destiny. Look at what it is you came to do. Are you a lover? Are you a teacher? Are you a loving teacher? Are you a spiritual guide? Are you a channel? Are you a whole person teacher? How to live body, mind, spirit? I'm pretty much all of those things as to how to live within this physical body in a way that incorporates our spiritual selves and supports the time we have here on earth. Truth is, I don't want to live forever, but what time I have on this earth, I want it to be upright, mobile, cognizant, free of chronic pain, and in my path, in my charge, what I came to do. And when I feel out of sorts and off kilter is because there's something out of alignment in me. And again, this is all about you. Selfishness is up. It is good to be selfish. That doesn't mean you have to cast out the other people in your life. Good morning, Ann and Debbie and Cindy and Julia. Thank you for joining me and saying hello this morning. That doesn't mean you have to do away with the others in your life. It means you have to do you. I mean, then for some of you, there are people that must be done away with. That doesn't mean you kill them. It means you separate yourself from them. Physically may not be an option, but you put that wall up to their energy and you keep tuning in to your guidance. You seek it out. You look for books that are going to teach you something, guidance, classes, things like that. I'm open, willing, ready. Show me what is here for me, and things will start showing up. And they generally show up in a very physical aspect. There aren't lots of us that see spirits, that see. I mean, there are definitely those of you who do. Most of the help that we have been asking for is going to come to us in the form of a class, a healing modality, a teacher, an article in a magazine that seemingly has nothing to do with spiritual. And again, kind of like that simplest friend you've got that all of a sudden they speak these words that make you go, oh, this is the answer I needed. And it can come from the weirdest of places. But when you are open and willing and ready, you will recognize it for what it is as it happens. You will receive the guidance you ask for, but you have to be willing to get it from everywhere. The next card that came up is crossing bridges. And again, you are the highest mountain you will ever climb. And there's a bridge you need. Good morning, Charlene and Donna. Thank you for joining us. I've got Fairbanks and Fair Cloth. Sounds to me like it's a very fair reading today. Crossing bridges. You're going to have to cross bridges to get to you, that truth of you. Sometimes you're going to have to cross rivers. Sometimes you're going to have to climb mountains. You are the biggest mystery you will ever seek to solve. And you're going to solve parts of it throughout this life. All of it, I doubt it, because we're here to learn more. And that's where the learning happens, in the mystery. It's time for healing, connecting, mending, and releasing. And I just said it's all about selfishness, but selfishness happens within the forgiving others, releasing the past. And again, forgiving doesn't mean you forget or that you invite these possibly toxic energies back into your field. It means you cut those cords, you let go of the energies connecting you to that situation that you need to exercise forgiveness in. It's all about you. The unforgiveness doesn't affect the people that you are not forgiving. They don't care. It is you giving up that energy of resentment, of victim, of fear, of limitedness in that relationship. It is giving it up. That doesn't mean you invite them back in your field to play or to do that again. That's wisdom. It's like Einstein said, doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result is crazy, is foolish. You can't keep doing things the same way and expect things to change. Another way of saying that is you cannot solve problems with the same mind that created them. And therefore, Chinnamasta says, cut off the old way of thinking about things, cut off that intellectual aspect that has caught you in this place of misunderstanding of who you are and the inability to see what it is you need to see. And you're cutting off that victim aspect. You are taking charge. You are standing in your power. Good morning, Jeannie. And know that you are the only one who can do it. That's why this is selfishness at its highest, selfishness at its most spiritual. You do you. Let everyone else do them. And when you do you, and you really begin to stand in your divine power, that is when we make the world better. We change, the world. The cup today that wanted to present itself was brave heart. This inner work takes courage. I had a client yesterday who had some really heavy energy attached to them. And the things that came up were things that she'd already had come into her field. But she said, I was just afraid to look at them. And we had to look at yesterday a very not pretty thing in a past life. But the truth is like all those energies from that were attached to her and limiting her in this life and really attacking her over and over. So we had to look at that. You do have to look at the wound in order to know how to heal the wound. You can't just go in, somebody comes into ER with a big cut and the doctor walks in and just talks to the nurse and everybody else while they're stitching it up. I mean, a deep cut's going to need 3 layers of stitches. The doctor needs to be focused, and you are healing you now. That doesn't mean you can't have help. It means you seek that help. You reach out to the ones that are presented in front of you that could possibly be the one to work with you. And curse energy came again yesterday, twice. In people going, I think maybe I have one, or me identifying with their help, walking them through identifying that these energies are attached to them. And that's really all a curse is. And I am finding way showers, psychics, light workers, spiritualists have a lot of curse energy that has been cast on us to keep us silent, to keep us limited, to keep us in our ignorance about who we truly are. It needs to be removed. It is just a set of energies, although some are admittedly more work to remove, not impossible. And that's, the truth is I do that work, but I'm only the vessel that brings through the energies, the power of Christ, of Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Uriel, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Zadkiel, the angels that can help make this happen. Because I can't do this. I am just a vessel here through which these things come. But they started coming to me, and I immediately went, are you kidding me? I'm not a priest. I don't do this. And then it was like, well, it's sitting in front of you and you haven't done any of the healing work you've been performing. We've done it and we'll do this as well. I have known that angels were my constant companions for a very long time. They've been my constant companions since I stepped into this world. I didn't always know that, but I have a host to call on just like you do. And I see them around when I'm doing this work. I've invited them in repeatedly during the process, and things get gone. People can then move forward. Is it a perfect process? We are never going to be a perfect process. We are going to hopefully always be doing our best, always bring forward that which can help us walk more smoothly in this life. The last card, I love this because this is all about balance, need and necessity. And, the things that we believe we need are not always the necessities that we require to move forward in life. And the other card that came up, and this one was kind of an enigma, accept, protect the wild and green. This is like a universal message wherever you're at in your process, whoever you are. I saw just a brief thing. I didn't engage in it because it will stir me up in a way I choose not to be stirred up in. The headline was enough. It was, is it, is the small farm, the personal farms, those little, are they at an end? And those powers of control that are still up there working, the powers that were to keep control, are trying to eliminate that small farm person. Oregon is a huge proponent of that in their water control and what they put in as a requirement that the small farms, those farm to market farms, a little small, they can't meet because it's financially unfeasible. And Oregon is starting to put that in. That big brother thing is coming through to incorporate that, and they're locking their wells so they can't water their farm. So that's just one aspect. The headline I saw was in Great Britain. We are in upheaval as a world. That's why it's very important that I have to do my own inner work in order to bring through fully what I came to bring through. We all need to do that because we all brought through or came in to bring through different things in the world. What I get to bring through is very different from what each of you get to bring through. But you came now purposefully to be part of this. If you've had feelings of checking out, you can. We all have that option. But the truth is you will come again into this same energy that you came into this lifetime, which at times feels overwhelmed. It has been a consideration throughout my life on several occasions, not real actively, but just that it would be so much easier if I just wasn't here. Because many of us understand how much easier it is as spirit rather than human. But the contract you made with yourself will bring you back into the same kind of energy. So if it is a consideration, I implore you not to make that consideration, but to persevere. Stay connected to your higher energies, God, Creator, the Central Sun, the Big I Am, Buddha, Allah, Krishna, Bahu Abdullah, whoever you believe that higher connection to be. They don't care what we call them. And if you look at every major religion, they all have a lot of the very same tenets. It is man that has bastardized them, taken them apart for control, and put in all the BS that's involved in organized religions all over the world. The people within them that are truly working to create this relationship between them and their higher power, that's who we are talking to. Those are the ones that came in, just as you did, to do this transformative process within yourself in order to help the world transform. And that's exactly what we're doing. So being in this energy of cutting off that thought processing, the trying to figure it out with your head, stepping into your heart feelings, connecting daily, if not several times throughout the day, to your higher power, bringing through that wisdom that we all have access to, will lead you to the healer that can work with you, the book that you needed to read or listen to, the class that you needed to take. In so many ways, we are given tools that we don't recognize. So be willing to cut off that analytical aspect, get into your heart, connect to your higher power, and begin doing your own selfish work. Connect with the wild and green, protect it, protect Mother Earth. She is what is keeping us alive here. That the projects that you might see take oh, I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. And I forgot, maybe it just wasn't, protect Mother Earth. The bees. We need to protect the bees. If there are no bees, we have no food. It's just an impossibility. So, this crap that we've been told is healthy for us, the cereals, all the things that come with chemicals. I have been given an instruction that it is imperative that we take in less and less of any prepackaged food, any prepared food, and that we fix food from the basics. And I have also been given a charge, and I do this. I get given a charge, and then I can logic why nobody really wants to hear that. But I have been given a download of how, because this is one of the things I'm really good at, is feeding well on very little money. So it's how to feed two on $40 a week and feed them healthfully. It does require cooking. It does require that. And if you don't have a pantry built up, that each week we build a pantry within that $40 to give you more options, to give you more variety as you move forward on $40 a week. And granted, there are some places that $40 is going to have to be $60, like in New York City, where everything's twice as expensive as here, in Seattle, all the big cities that are so expensive. But I'm going to do it on the $40 a week because that was a download I was given. So if you know people that are suffering financially and having to make decisions about food, then consider keeping your eye out for that, sending this information to them to attend these classes. The first 3 will be totally free, and then it's going to be $1.99 a class after that. And I will hold a weekly class with some new recipes to incorporate in order to give more variety in this healthy way of eating from basic ingredients. And it really is simple. It's not this huge time suck that people think. Of course, it's not. Get that TV dinner, pull it out of the fridge and put it in the microwave. All the chemicals that go into cereals and the packaged food, the fewer packaged foods, the fewer convenience foods, the healthier we're going to be. And we're going to need to do that because things are going to get dicey and we're going to have less and less access to the crap. So we need to learn how to use basic foods. At any rate, we are complete for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Selfishness is up. And if it's going to be done, it's going to be up to you to do it. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Victoria Savage, Nurse Savage on your side.